Yeah, good morning, dear children. This is B. Srinivas Rao, New Vision IIT Foundation Faculty, Social Department. Today we take 7th lesson in 10th class, Settlements and Migration. Settlements and Migration. So, this lesson gives us a kind of concept regarding what is settlement, how settlements began, and how settlements changed, and what is migration, types of migration, what happens when people are migrating. This is the concept that's given in this lesson, right? Talking about this first one, we take first subheading, settlement. Settlement. What is settlement? First of all, we must try to give definition for the settlement. Settlement is a place. It is a place where we live, and work. This is called settlement. A place where people collectively living and organizing themselves. Where they live in a particular place and where they are organizing themselves, generally termed as settlement. Example, take village is a settlement, city is a settlement, Thanda is a settlement, or big cities, mega cities, also settlement. So, place where we live and work on that particular work in that particular settlement. You mean that we are organizing ourselves in a particular place and living in that place is generally termed as a settlement. You got the point? A place where we organize ourselves, live in that particular area, and there we can follow different activities. What are activities we are following? There we can see some religious activities together. We work together. The people who are living in a particular place can can do certain activities. What are those? Religious activities, community level activities like social activities, or political activities, or some commercial activities, or some religious activities, or in some medical activities, whatever that. These people, different people with different occupations, but they are living in a particular place. Such places are called as settlements. So, settlements, example, what can be given? So, village is settlement. Village is a settlement. City is a settlement. Thanda is a settlement. So this settlement, in this particular area, talking about settlements, how these settlements started, when did this settlement started, at the time what are the people, what is the difference between the people at the time and at present. This is the second topic. Then second subtopic is how did settlement change? How did settlement begin? So that's the point that is to be taken. Settlements, how did they begin? Right? Settlements began, earlier people used to, in olden days, around 10,000 years back, and there are some estimations around 30,000 BC, 30,000 years BC, there were people lived in the world. 30,000 to 10,000, a particular era we call prehistoric age. At the time, people used to move, and even up to 5,000 BC, 10,000 BC, 30,000 BC to 5,000 BC, people used to move from one place to another place. Like a group, right? They used to move from one place to another place. They used to hunt animals. Food gathering is a major occupation. They don't know how to live in a particular place. They don't have permanent settlements. Every day they used to take rest at a place where we call caves like. They used to construct, not construct, they used to live in the caves, which are naturally created caves like rocks, under the rocks. Or take some trees and their branches also can were used as what you call shelter, because whatever caves are there, whatever that caves are there, whatever that trees are there, I think these are the best places to protect themselves from the wild animals. So there was a kind of problem at that time. So wild animals used to attack at that time. To protect themselves, they used to live in the caves and they used to live on the branches of the trees. So they goes on. They used to move, and they don't know how to cook. They don't know how to eat, but they are going hunting animal and eating raw flesh. This is a big point that can be seen. So they don't have a particular occupation. Occupation is hunting. That's all. And then slowly these people started settling at a place. So settlements began around 5000, 10 to 5000 BC. At that time, people settled at a place, started cultivating their own crops, and started domesticating animals. And whatever the animals required for them, these animals were domesticated, and now we are doing it. So when you are looking at this, the life of the nomads, we take nomads old and people living in the olden days, nomads, and present people. So at the time, nomadic life, talking about nomadic life, most of the time they are asking these questions. So what is the difference between the nomadic lifestyle and present lifestyle? We call it a sedentary lifestyle. Present lifestyle, nomadic lifestyle. In nomadic lifestyle, in which we can see that people used to move, they don't have any settlements, they used to live in the caves, they used to live on the branches of the trees, they used to hunt animals, they don't know how to cultivate, they don't know how to produce food, they are simply food gatherers, gathering food and eating. Again, if it is complete, then again moving, and then they don't know about modern settlement, modern what they call means of transportation and all the things. But present man is not food gatherer, he is a food producer. And hunting is not the occupation. Here there are several occupations amongst the modernization of the world. So earlier farming was major activity, and after that some industrial activities are there, and after that people discovered many activities, so related to service activities or industrial activities or primary activities. Large number of activities we can find at present in this world because of the expansion of economic activities. So that earlier only farming, and now it is only related to farming. Several activities are there. So this is the way how modern man used to live, used to produce, used to live at a place, used to produce goods required for them. Used to he domesticated animals, domesticating animals. Because of milk, meat, and what are the things that they would like to get from the animals. Even they used to cultivate. They used to use. They used these animals for tilling land. All these things. The difference that is there between the nomadic lifestyle and present lifestyle, nothing but sedentary lifestyle. And then third one is how did why do settlement change? Next one, the third one, why do settlement change? Why do settlement change? Settlements generally change because of several factors. What is settlement? Village is settlement, city is settlement, and a small tanda is a settlement. I said earlier. These settlements, whatever settlements you have seen earlier, the same settlement cannot be seen at present. You mean settlements goes on changing. Why they are changing? If you want to understand, you can take any city, big city or small, sort of that. Any place, just like talking about Mumbai or Kolkata, Hyderabad, Bangalore. You take Chennai, you take Delhi, what are that? If you want to observe this change, why they are changing, you need to take one example. What is that example here? Delhi is example. You take a Delhi as a settlement. It's a settlement. So it's a settlement. So now talking about Delhi, it is a place which was made as the capital city by many rulers. Example, Delhi Sultans, Mughals, followed by Britishers, and even at present. So this city worked as a capital city for several hundred years, maybe centuries. This city worked as a capital city. This is the first reason. Once upon a time, city that is big, that is there for only few percent of the people, few number of people used to live. It's a combination of 2 or 3 villages. It is actually constructed by some of the rulers around 600, 700 BC, AD. At the time, it is constructed for only a few people. But after that, the city and its nature, its structure, its space has been changed. What are the reasons for this? Now, recently, when 60 lakhs to 1 crore 60 lakhs, the population that is there in Delhi. Delhi actually designed for only few number of people. Now it is the total population is 1 crore 60 lakhs. So, what are the reasons for changing Delhi? Delhi changed because certain aspects. One is that acted as a capital city, more larger number of people, and it's a center for many rulers. Okay, that's the point given already. And it is a place for place for employment. People used to move from Bihar, move to place, or from all over the world, and even many places from all over the country. People are moving towards Delhi because at present people who are going to Delhi, they are getting job. This is the problem. This is the important point. And coming to the next one is a center for education. So most large number of universities are there. Large number of education centers are there. I'll take intermediate education or BTech education or degree education. What about PG or what about that? This is really a center for learning, right? I can say the center for learning. So that's why large number of students from all the places, even from outside of the country also, people moving towards Delhi. At the same time, large number of unskilled people also laborers also moving to Delhi. Or some of the laborers seasonally they are going and staying there, and some of the laborers Delhi they are going who are living nearby that city. Large number of people are moving towards Delhi. They are staying there. Some of the people are going there and settle there, and they started working. At the same time, another reason you can find what is that it is a center for better health. They know that large number of people throughout the country moving towards Delhi. I mean, those who are close to those areas, particularly Delhi, to get some health or medical facility, so that whenever a problem is there, disease is there, people can go to the big cities where we can see nice hospitals, big hospitals, and large number of doctors available and medicine is available. And it is a center for curing their health. This is the important area, because that these people always gather. It's a center for parliament. Parliament is there. Government officials they are living there. Governmental activities going on there. Administrative system is functioning from this place. And at the same time, talking about this city, actually, whenever the city now not able to bear that people, because whenever city is constructed, a particular plan is to be followed. We call it as master plan. A particular plan is to be followed. But before the growth of the city or changing the city, you need to plan a particular city for the sites meant for which area, which aspects. Where this the city for the drain roads, city for forest, city for library, city for school, city for industry, city for a place for all these things. That is to be designed. This is called master plan. There are 3 master plans were made, but almost all these 3 master plans not implemented in Delhi. So because they are making plan late, implementing late. So before that, people are coming and settling a place at various places nearby Delhi, and they are constructing their own houses. And what are that public facilities like roads, drinking water, electricity, and all the things, they cannot get because they are living in a place which is not recognized. These are not authorized colonies. These are unauthorized colonies. So people living in these places without any amenities, right? That is not the way. So we need to advise them not to live in these places. We need to mark all the places meant for each and every aspect. Marking areas meant for library, meant for industry, meant for bus stand, meant for roads, meant for this. So these are all education centers, schools, hospitals. This kind of master plan must be there. But the government is lazy, and the officials also lazy. They cannot make a plan. Even though they are making plan, it is always late. And while implementing, before that, the city has emerging a big city, and people are gathering like anything and living like anything. So this is not the way. So that's why the city as a settlement, one city, small settlement, now became very big settlement. So many times this population increased because of these are all. So when the people are moving towards Delhi, they settle at any place. They live, they construct their own house. And after announcing this master plan, it will be difficult to ask them to go out from those places. Then eviction is always difficult. So we are forcing them to go out from those places. It's not correct to ask like this. It's before that you need to advise. Then if these are all the people are moving and living at that place, then these colonies are called as unauthorized colonies. Unfortunately, unauthorized colonies are more in our country. But in every city like Mumbai and Bangalore, Hyderabad, unauthorized colonies, unrecognized colonies, where amenities will be, where which is not coming under master plan. So when that particular area where these people are living here, we call them as slums. Slum nothing but a place where amenities not there, where they are living. So this is unfortunate. Even when out there, the government officials going and asking them to go out, and from where, how can you expect that these people will move? It will be always difficult to ask them to move from those places. They construct their own houses. So that's why what we need to do, master plan is to be made a little bit early, and that is to be implemented effectively immediately. Then the sites or places must be designed for various activities. Then the people, even though they are migrating, they cannot touch those areas. So example, the marked as a library, this site is meant for library, this site is meant for bus stand, this site is meant for hospital, this site is meant for school, this site is meant for park, this site is meant. If this design is there, or markings are there, and particular plan is there, even though people are migrating towards this city, cannot occupy these places. Because these are all government places, they simply come and occupy, and they will enjoy. This is not the way to design the master plan, or to then when people are going to these places and living as they like, and that creates problems. The emerging of slums, and so there are many problems for them. No drinking water, no roads, no education, no schools, no hospitals, no electricity, something. This is a big burden for the urban centers. Big people cannot. Government cannot spend money for these people. This is always a big question. So the three aspects we discussed: settlement definition, second one, how settlement began, and third one, why do settlement changes. So question is, you can take what are the reasons for changing settlement. A small settlement can be changed as big settlement. A small village can be emerged as a big village. A small tanda can be emerged as a big village, or a very big village can be emerged as a city or town. So this is the way how settlements are changing because of the movement of the people or increase of population. And coming to the what type of places can be made What type of places can be formed as settlement? So if you want to see settlement, you mean that people living in a particular place. Which type of places can be emerged as settlement? What are the factors that required to make a place as settlement? There are three factors we require. One is a clear what type of places are formed as settlement. Which type of places can be made as settlement? Places with three factors. First one is site. Second one is situation, and third one is history of the city, or history of the settlement. So these three factors are important for making a place as settlement. First one, site. What is a site? What type of site it is? There we can find out its altitude, its plain area, whether it is plain area or not, availability of water, at the same time soil, nature of the soil, at the same time whether water is there nearby that or not. Without water body like lakes and tanks, and we cannot see settlement, because water is required for the people and as well animals. So site with all these facilities can emerge as a settlement. Altitude, height of the site, plain area or not, soil, nature of the soil, availability of water resources. So these are very, very important factors. If these characteristic features are there to any site, that site can be emerged as a settlement. Example, you take Chhatrapati Shivaji constructed a big port town. At the time they used to construct port towns. He constructed port towns at Pratapgarh in Maharashtra. Pratapgarh, the site is like this, at a higher elevation, on the hills he constructed. Around the hill he constructed a big wall, nobody can enter into it. At that time such sites are useful, but at present we don't choose such sites. At present we always choose plain areas where they can easily move from one place to another place. But at that time, that quality is required for the site to make site as a settlement. This point is clear. So, site settlement. Talking about second point is situation. What is situation? Situation nothing but a place connected with other aspects. Situation refers to the place connected with the other aspects. What are those? Talking about this, very, very important. So what are those here? Situation refers to the site. Situation refers to the place which is connected with other aspects. Example, if you want to understand this one, I will give an example. What are these? Visakhapatnam. We take Visakhapatnam is a port town. Once it is a small village, developed as a big town. Once its population is just 40,000, now its population is 20 lakhs, 35,690. 20-25 lakhs population is there. So talking about this population of Visakhapatnam emerged, developed, changed, increased because of what? Its situation. What situation here? Connected with port town. So that's why situation refers to the place connected with other aspects. And do you mean that Visakhapatnam connected a place which is growing, connected with the port. So port is important center for that. Port is important factor for the growing of this Visakhapatnam. Port is there, exports are there, imports are there. Large number of people are going and coming, and large number of goods are coming, and there are large number of people getting employment. The city has been expanding. It's a center for education now, it's a center for medical, it's a center for employment. So like this situation refers to the site which is having a particular particular aspect, the city that is connected with any aspect. So such cities can be developed. Example, you take Mumbai, Goa and Chennai were chosen by the Britishers and Portuguese people to make them a center. How they developed, you know that? They developed because of the location. Location is here, situation. Location is situation. The location, they locate on the coast, and the Britishers or Europeans used to come to these places regularly. It's easy for them. They made as a port town. From there they used to export goods to their own country, and what are the goods collected from the city, India or the country, they used to take these goods to their own centers like Goa, Machilipatnam, Bangalore, Chennai, Mumbai. They used to gather and take these goods to those places, port towns we call. They construct port towns. Because of choosing such places by British or Portuguese people, it became very big city. So emerging big cities because of their location. Location is a situation. Location is a situation. And last one is the history of the settlement. A settlement, any settlement can be, any place can be changed as settlement, big settlement, nice settlement, important settlement, when it is chosen by the chosen by the rulers during the history, in the history. What is that? Delhi you take. Delhi was made a capital city by Mughals, capital city by Delhi Sultans, capital city by the Britishers. Historically, if a city that is chosen for anything, that city can be, place is chosen, such place can be made as settlement. Example, Warangal, actually Hanmakonda is made as a capital city by Kakatiyas, so that it became big city. You can take such place, so many places are there. Pataliputra, once it is a capital city of India, Pataliputra, Magadha dynasty, and so many dynasties ruled India from that place. Patna became big city and important center, important settlement. Like what are the place? Ujjain, Udaipur, Ahmednagar. Talking about like so many places in India emerged as important centers because historically they had their own importance. These places chosen by the rulers because of their historical background, because of their historical background, a place can be emerged as a settlement. With this, we will put an end to this lesson, today's lesson. Tomorrow we will continue with other areas. Thank you.